Close your eyes. Listen, that jingle in your pocket? It's not spare change. It's a sleeping giant. 1973, 1977, 1985, 1994. 4 Kennedy half dollars. 4 hidden chances. Most people see 50 cents. You're about to see the truth. Welcome to Legacy Coins USA, where old metal meets new fortune. Your fortune is waiting. Subscribe and claim it. Let's get started. Coin number 1. Listen very carefully. What you are describing, this Liberty in God We Trust 1973 D. John F. silver coin, is not just pocket change. It is a sleeping giant. You are looking at the 1973 D. Kennedy half dollar, a piece of American history struck in the wake of national tragedy, and while most are worth exactly 50 cents, there is a shadow version of this coin, a ghost in the minting system, that could turn your spare change into a life-changing fortune. Let's tear apart the history. This coin was born out of grief. After President John F. Kennedy was assassinated in November 1963, the nation demanded a tribute. Congress rushed to remove Benjamin Franklin from the half dollar and replace him with a fallen leader. In 1964, the first Kennedys were 90% silver, but by 1971, the silver was stripped away to save copper. By 1973, the year your coin was minted in Denver, that tiny D under Kennedy's neck, it was made of a cheap copper-nickel clad. It weighs exactly 11.34 grams and is 30.6 millimeters wide. It is common, or so they want you to think. Why was it made? It was intended for everyday commerce. But here is the dramatic twist. Americans hoarded them. Out of respect for Kennedy, nobody wanted to spend them. By the early 1980s, the half dollar vanished from cash registers entirely, becoming a ghost denomination. Production never really stopped, but the 1973 D saw a mintage of over 83 million. That is a massive number. If you have a standard one in your drawer, it's worth maybe 50 cents to $1. Boring, right? Wrong. This is where the definition of value explodes. You asked for errors and rarity. The 1973 D double die obverse, FS 101, is the monster hiding in the herd. This isn't a myth. It's a manufacturing nightmare where the die shifted during hubbing, causing the letters and numbers to look blurry or double-struck. Specifically, look at Liberty, In God We Trust, and the date. If you see clear, sharp doubling, you are not holding a coin. You are holding a ticket worth thousands of dollars. The numismatic market is brutal. While a normal 1973 D is heavy in your pocket but light in value, dealers call this cull or junk silver value for older ones. The double die variety in pristine condition, MS65 or higher, is a trophy. The gray sheet valuation suggests this error is incredibly scarce. In a world of billion-dollar Bitcoin and paper stocks, this piece of metal is a tangible asset. But wait, if you want to be a billionaire, we have to look at the cousins of your coin. Forget the 1973 D for a moment. Look at the bicentennial coins, 1776 to 1976. The U.S. Mint went wild for the 200th birthday of America, creating the Drummer Boy quarters and Eisenhower dollars. Like your 1973 D, most are worth face value. But the error versions of those bicentennial coins, struck on the wrong planchet or with silver proofs, have been known to fetch nearly $5,000 to $10,000 at auction. It proves that no modern coin should ever be ignored. But let's talk about the real wealth, the $1 Million Club. You want to be a billionaire overnight? The 1804 silver dollar, the king of American coins, is the godfather of your 1973 D. Only 15 or 16 exist. One sold for over $7.6 million. Another surfaced in Grandpa's closet just recently, having sat there for 70 years and sold for $6 million. That is the dream. That is the drama of this hobby. That coin was made as a diplomatic gift for a king, and your 1973 D was made for a cashier, but the hunt is the same. The lesson is brutal and beautiful. The 1913 Liberty Head nickel is worth $5 million. The 1794 flowing hair dollar, the first silver dollar ever struck, sold for $10 million. These are the unicorns, but your 1973 D could be a unicorn if it carries the double die error. That specific error turns a coin that weighs 11.34 grams into gold. The demand in the USA for error coins is insatiable. Collectors are obsessive, and they pay fortunes for the oops of history. So, what is the verdict on your 1973 D? First, stop touching it. Oils from your fingers destroy value. Second, grab a magnifying glass. Look at the words Liberty, and in God we trust. If they look doubled, blurry, or shadowed, you are in the money. If they are sharp and perfect, you have a piece of history worth a cup of coffee. That is the razor's edge of numismatics. Do not spend this coin. Do not clean it. Cleaning a coin is the fastest way to turn $10,000 into $10. The value is not just in the metal. It is in the patina and the mint state. A coin that has survived 50 years without scratches is a miracle. The 1973 D market is currently stable, but the errors are exploding. The viral deep dive truth is that most people who find these think they are fake. They aren't. They are just waiting for the right collector. Your fortune is hiding in the details. While the world chases cryptocurrency crashes, the smart money is diving into old piggy banks and forgotten dresser drawers. The 1804 dollar sat in a closet for 7 decades. The 1973 D could be sitting in your car's ashtray right now. The American numismatic market is in a boom cycle. $1,000,000 coins are trading hands every month. If you have any coin with a D mint mark or an odd look, you are holding a potential lottery ticket. Check your collection. Now, don't wait. The next headline about a fortune found in a roll of $50 could be about you. Coin number 2. Disco is dying. Star Wars is born. And the United States Mint is quietly striking a piece of history that you now hold in your hand. You are looking at the 1977 Kennedy $50. A coin born from the ashes of a national nightmare, yet cast in cheap metal. But do not let the copper core fool you. In the dark corners of the numismatic world, this common coin hides a secret that could rewrite your financial future. The story begins in blood and tears. On November 22, 1963, the world stopped when President John F. Kennedy was assassinated. Congress, in a rare moment of absolute unity, rushed to erase the Franklin $50 and replace it with the face of the fallen king. The first Kennedy halves in 1964 were 90% pure silver, mourning money that people hoarded like gold. But greed and economics ruined the purity. By 1971, the silver was stripped away. The government needed copper for shell casings and wires, not coins. So your 1977 coin is a clad sandwich. A pure copper core wrapped in a mix of 75% copper and 25% nickel. It weighs exactly 11.34 grams. It is 30.6 millimeters wide. It is hard, cold, and technically worth exactly 50 cents. Your specific coin carries the D mint mark, the dagger of Denver. Struck just under Kennedy's neck. That tiny letter tells us this coin was minted in the high plains of Colorado. The Denver Mint produced a massive 31,449,106 of these $50 in 1977. That is a mountain of metal. By the laws of supply and demand, a standard 1977 D in your pocket is worth exactly 1 cup of bad coffee. But let us talk about the ghost in the machine. You asked for errors. You asked for the path to $1 million. The 1977 Kennedy half dollar has no famous double die like its 1974 brother. But the hunt for perfection is where billionaires are made. The mint in 1977 was sloppy. Look for die clashes, where the obverse and reverse stamps smashed into each other without a planchet, leaving ghostly outlines of Kennedy's hair on the eagle shield. These errors are not listed in textbooks, they are found in dreams. However, the real wealth is not in the error, it is in the condition. A 1977 D is a conditional rarity. Most were thrown into parking meters and soda machines. To find one untouched in mint state is a miracle. A coin graded MS66, mint state 66, is hard to find. A coin graded MS67 is a unicorn. The gray sheet wholesale value for a perfect MS67 1977 D hovers near $500. But if that coin is a MS67 full step, meaning the stairs on the presidential seal are fully visible, you are looking at 4 figures. Never spend a shiny half dollar. Do you have the proof version? Look at the edge. If it is sharp, mirror-like, and frosted, you might have the 1977S. Struck in San Francisco specifically for collectors, these are flawless mirrors. The mintage is low. Only 3,251,152 proofs. A standard proof is worth $5. But a PR70 Deep Cameo, a perfect, flawless black mirror specimen, is a coin that auction houses fight over. That single point of grade difference, 69 to 70, is the difference between dinner money and a mortgage payment. Let us widen the lens to your fortune. You want to be a billionaire overnight? The 1977 coin is the entry drug. The real monsters are the bicentennial coins, 1776 to 1976. Like your 1977, they look like pocket change. But the bicentennial quarters, half dollars, and Eisenhower dollars struck in 40% silver and bearing the S mint mark are sleeping giants. Today, a full set of silver bicentennial proofs is worth hundreds. In 50 years, when the last of the World War II generation is gone, these will be worth millions. Do not sell them for beer money. The history of the Kennedy half dollar is a history of American failure. By the early 1980s, casinos and vending machines rejected the half dollar. It was too big, too heavy, too confusing. The mint stopped making them for circulation in 2002. That means your 1977 coin is a relic of a dead denomination. A ghost currency that never found its place in the cash register. So, what is the value? The junk value is 0. The melt value is 0. There is no silver. But the collector value is a different universe. The CPG Price Guide, the Bible of coin pricing, shows that while most 1977 halves trade at face value, the Cameo and Deep Cameo proofs from San Francisco are exploding in value. The demand is spiking because Generation X is finally rich enough to buy back their childhood. Stop rubbing the coin with your fingers. The oil from your skin destroys the luster. If you have a 1977 that looks like it just left the Denver Mint yesterday, put it in a cardboard flip. Do not clean it. Do not polish it. A cleaned coin is a dead coin. It loses 90% of its value instantly. Collectors want skin, the original mint bloom, not a wiped surface. You are now standing at the edge of a rabbit hole. The 1804 silver dollar sold for $7.6 million. The 1913 Liberty Head nickel sold for $5 million. Your 1977 D is not those coins, yet. But if you find a strike error, a broad strike, a clipped planchet, or a double denomination, your 11.34 grams of copper nickel becomes a museum piece. Errors sell for $10,000 to $50,000 depending on the drama of the mistake. I am telling you with professional gravity. Check your piggy banks. Check the old jar in your parents' closet. Check the roll of half-dollars the bank teller gave you last week. The 1977 no-mint mark, Philadelphia, coin is worth face value. Unless it has a tail side die break. The value is not in the metal. It is in the mistake. The United States of America minted over 2.3 billion clad half-dollars between 1971 and today. But the human eye has only seen a fraction of them in change. Most were melted, lost, or buried in landfills. The ones that survive in perfect gem uncirculated condition are the survivors of a financial apocalypse. Do not look at your 1977 as a coin. Look at it as a time traveler. If it is shiny, it is valuable. If it is strange, it is priceless. Hold on to it until the right buyer begs you for it. Your fortune is not a myth. It is sitting in your drawer, waiting to be recognized. Do not spend it. Verify it. You have been warned. Coin number 3. Ronald Reagan is in the White House. The Cold War is freezing the world, and the Philadelphia Mint is stamping out 18.7 million copies of a coin you now hold in your trembling hand. You are looking at the 1985 P. Kennedy half-dollar, a coin born from assassination, raised on copper, and hidden in the shadows of American pocket change. But here is the truth they don't tell you. Most are worth exactly 50 cents, but a microscopic few are worth a fortune that could buy you a house. Listen carefully. The origin story is soaked in blood and national grief. On November 22, 1963, the world stopped when President John F. Kennedy was executed in Dallas. Congress, in a rare moment of absolute unity, rushed to erase the Franklin half-dollar and replace it with the face of the fallen king. The first Kennedy halves in 1964 were 90% pure silver, mourning metal that Americans hoarded like sacred relics. But capitalism killed the romance. By 1971, the silver was stripped away. The government needed precious metals for industry, not coins. So your 1985 coin is a clad sandwich, an outer layer of 75% copper and 25% nickel wrapped around a pure copper heart. It weighs exactly 11.34 grams. It is 30.6 millimeters wide. It is cold, hard, and mathematically worth exactly 50 cents at any grocery store in America. Your specific coin carries the P Mint mark, the signature of Philadelphia. Struck just under Kennedy's neck, that tiny letter tells us this coin was minted in the oldest mint in America, the same facility that produced the first coins of the Republic. The Philadelphia Mint produced a staggering 18,706,962 of these half-dollars in 1985. That is a sea of metal. A standard 1985 P in your pocket is worth exactly a cheap candy bar. But let us talk about the ghost in the machine, the path to $1 million. You asked for errors. The 1985 P. Kennedy half-dollar has no famous double die like its 1974 brother, but the hunt for perfection is where fortunes are made. The mint in 1985 was running at full speed, and mistakes slipped through. Look for die cracks, raised lines of metal where the stamping die fractured. Look for off-center strikes where the coin was punched wrong. These errors are not listed in textbooks. They are hidden in your drawer. The real wealth, however, is not in the error. It is in the condition. A 1985 P in circulated condition is worth 50 cents. A coin graded MS66, mint state 66, is scarce. A coin graded MS67 is the holy grail. The PCGS population report shows that while millions were minted, only 57 examples have ever achieved MS67 grade. One single coin has reached MS67 plus. That is it. That is the unicorn. In MS67 condition, this coin is worth thousands of dollars. Not millions, but enough to change your month entirely. Do you have the proof version? Look at the coin's surface. If it is mirror-like, sharp, and frosty, you might have the 1985 S-proof struck in San Francisco. These were made specifically for collectors and never released into circulation. A perfect PR 70 deep cameo, flawless black mirror with white frosting, is a coin that auction houses literally fight over. That single point of grade difference, 69 to 70, is the difference between dinner money and a mortgage payment. The history of the Kennedy half-dollar is a history of American tragedy and failure. By the early 1980s, exactly when your coin was minted, vending machines and casinos had rejected the half-dollar entirely. It was too big, too heavy, too confusing. The denomination became a ghost, never used in daily transactions. The mint finally stopped producing them for circulation in 2002. Your 1985 P is a relic of a dead currency, a time traveler from an era when 50 cents meant something. So, what is the actual value? The junk value is 0 cents. The melt value is 0 cents. There is no silver to recover. But the collector value is a different universe entirely. The CPG price guide shows that while most 1985 has trade at face value, the condition rarities in MS66 and above are exploding. The demand is spiking because Generation X is finally rich enough to buy back their childhood. If your coin is perfect, do not spend it. Let us widen the lens to your potential fortune. You want to be a billionaire overnight? The 1985 P is the entry drug. The real monsters are the rare error coins of 1985 from other denominations. A 1985 D Lincoln penny with a filled mint mark error recently sold for an astonishing $3.10 million asterisk asterisk. A 1985 Lincoln cent with a combination die clash and die crack error sold for $4.9 million. That is nearly $5 million for a single penny. Let that sink in while you look at your half-dollar. The lesson is brutal and beautiful. The 1804 silver dollar, the king of American coins, sold for over $7.6 million. The 1913 Liberty Head nickel sold for $5 million. Your 1985 P is not those coins yet, but the 1985 error pennies prove that modern coins from your lifetime can be worth millions. The filled mint mark penny looked ordinary. The die clash penny looked ordinary. Your 1985 P could look ordinary. But if it has a minting mistake, you are sitting on a fortune. Stop rubbing the coin with your fingers right now. The oil from your skin destroys the luster forever. If you have a 1985 P that looks like it just left the Philadelphia Mint yesterday, put it in a protective flip. Do not clean it. Do not polish it. A cleaned coin is a dead coin. It loses 90% of its value instantly. Collectors want skin, the original mint bloom, not a wiped surface. Patience is your only friend. You are now standing at the edge of a rabbit hole deeper than you ever imagined. The 1982 No FG Kennedy half-dollar, where the designer's initials FG are missing from the reverse, is a known valuable variety. The 1974 double die obverse is another monster. Your 1985 P has no famous variety yet, but that is exactly why you need to look closer. The next great error is waiting to be discovered by someone exactly like you. I am telling you with professional gravity and dramatic fire. Check your piggy banks. Check the old jar in your parents' closet. Check the roll of half-dollars the bank teller gave you last week. The 1985 P No Mint Mark, Philadelphia, coin is worth face value. Unless it has a tail side die break or a clipped planchet. The value is not in the metal. It is not in the silver. It is in the mistake. The human error, the machine failure, the split second when the mint got it wrong. The United States of America has minted billions of clad half-dollars since 1971. The overwhelming majority were spent lost, melted, or buried in landfills. The ones that survive in perfect gem uncirculated condition are the survivors of a financial apocalypse. Do not look at your 1985 P as a coin. Look at it as a witness to history. The Reagan years, the Cold War, the rise of modern America. If it is shiny, it is valuable. If it is strange, it is priceless. Hold on to it until the right buyer begs you for it. Your fortune is not a myth. It is sitting in your drawer, waiting to be recognized. Do not spend it. Verify it. Coin number 4. The year is 1994. Bill Clinton is in the White House. The internet is whispering its first digital breaths. And the Philadelphia Mint stamps out over 23 million copies of a coin that you now hold. You are looking at the 1994 P. Kennedy half dollar. To the untrained eye, it is 50 cents of copper and nickel. To the trained hunter, it is a conditional rarity. A coin whose value is determined not by what it is made of, but by how perfectly it survived the last 3 decades. Let us rip back the curtain on the history. This coin was born from a national wound that never fully healed. On November 22, 1963, the assassination of John F. Kennedy shattered America. Congress, in a fever of grief and respect, rushed to remove the Franklin half dollar and replace it with the face of the fallen king. The first issues in 1964 were 90% pure silver, but by 1971, the silver was gone, stripped away by rising prices and industrial greed. Your 1994 P is a clad ghost. It weighs exactly 11.34 grams and measures 30.6 millimeters wide. Its composition is a sandwich. An outer layer of 75% copper and 25% nickel wrapped around a pure copper core. There is no silver inside your coin. 0. The P mint mark under Kennedy's neck tells you this was struck in Philadelphia, the oldest mint in America, where 23,718,000 of these were produced. Here is the brutal truth about value. Because the mintage is so high, over 23 million, a circulated 1994 P is worth exactly 50 cents. You could spend it on a gumball. But, and this is a massive but, the moment we talk about condition, the rules of reality bend. This is what experts call a conditional rarity. The coin isn't rare by mintage. It is rare by survival. Listen to me carefully. Most of these 23 million coins were thrown into parking meters, dropped in soda machines, or ground down in pockets. To find a 1994 P that looks like it just left the mint yesterday is a statistical miracle. The PCGS population reports confirm this. While millions exist in junk drawers, the number preserved in flawless MS-68 condition is infinitesimally small. The price ladder is terrifying and steep. A standard uncirculated coin, MS-60, is worth about $7***. A nice one, MS-65, jumps to $54. A superb gem, MS-66, hits $119***. But then we hit the stratosphere. An MS-67 example commands $318. And the king? An MS-68, just 2 steps higher on the scale, is valued at an eye-watering $10,500. That is the difference between pocket change and a mortgage payment, determined by a few invisible microscopic scratches. But you want the million-dollar drama, don't you? You want to be the billionaire overnight. The 1994 P itself is not the million-dollar coin, but it is the key. The real monsters in the Kennedy series are the no FG errors. Look at the reverse of your coin. Near the eagle's tail feathers, you see the tiny initials FG, Frank Gasparo, the designer. If those initials are missing, wiped away by overzealous mint polishing, you are holding a fortune. Specifically, the 1982 P no FG is the king of the clad era. While a standard 1982 half is worth 50 cents, an MS-67 no FG error has sold for over $800***. The 1972 D-NO-FG is even rarer, fetching $600 to $1,000 in uncirculated condition. Your 1994 P could have the same error. You need a magnifying glass right now to check. Do not ignore the double die ghosts. The 1974 D double die obverse is the most accessible major error in the series. Look at the words, "In God we trust." If the letters trust look thick, blurry, or doubled, you have a coin worth $25 to $300 depending on condition. While these errors are not from 1994, they prove the rule. The government makes mistakes, and those mistakes are worth gold. Let us widen the lens to your absolute fortune. You asked for million-dollar coins. The 1964 SMS Special Strike Kennedy $50 is the holy grail. Only 12 to 20 specimens exist. One is theoretically valued up to $5.90 million ***. A 1964 SP68 sold for $156,000 at auction. The 1964 Accented Hair Proof, where Jacqueline Kennedy herself demanded the hair design be softened, sold for $46,800. These are the unicorns hiding in old collections. The demand in the USA for these error coins is insatiable. The Kennedy $50 was effectively removed from circulation by the early 1980s. The denomination became a ghost. Too big for wallets, too confusing for cash registers. The mint stopped producing them for regular commerce in 2002. That means your 1994 P is a relic of a dead era. Every year that passes, more are melted or lost, driving the value of survivors higher. Stop rubbing the coin with your fingers immediately. The oil from your skin destroys the mint bloom, the original luster that collectors pay thousands for. Do not clean it. Do not polish it. A cleaned coin is a dead coin. It loses 90% of its value instantly. Put it in a protective flip. Treat it like a crime scene. I am telling you with professional gravity. Check your piggy banks. Check the old jar in your parents' closet. Check the roll of $50 the bank teller gave you last week. The 1994 P is common in the wild, but rare in perfection. If your coin is shiny, it is valuable. If your coin has missing initials, no FG, it is priceless. If your coin is flawless, MS68, you are holding $10,000 in your palm. Thank you for joining our channel. So please subscribe to my channel, and let's enjoy every single coin details every day.